So you listen to that.
A team that as small as Arkansas to not be a great offensive rebounding. You expect a team as big as Gonzaga to maybe be a little bit better at offensive rebounding. Wouldn't you think?
I mean, some of it is, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that we make it a huge priority. Like our guys, we play to get back, you know?
I think there's some
Get
of
back
that.
and play
plus,
D.
our biggest guy is often taking threes. That limits his ability to get offensive rebounds. And
I suppose.
Yeah.
Jimmy is a little more of a finesse player than just a bang and get offensive boards kind of thing. But I'm listening to that tale and I'm thinking, wait a minute. They shoot less than 31% from three.
Yes, they do.
And they like to play fast. That seems like it's perfect for us.
It certainly does. Yeah. I really like this matchup. The more I looked at it,
I am scarily confident listening to that.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. I kept looking at their stats and watching and thinking, I don't think I should be this confident in a game, in a team that's 18th in Ken Palm, who has beaten Kentucky, who is in the Sweet 16. Like, why am I this confident? I think we're going to kick their ass.
Yeah, so I'm afraid of this confidence because, I mean, they've got a great player and JD Note. But they don't have size and there's not any depth. This is what I'm looking at their box score from Vermont. They had let's see, 3 players play 36 or more minutes in that game. They had 1, 2, 3, 4 players with 4 fouls in that Vermont game. They had against New Mexico State, they had 3 players play 40 minutes, right? They had 1 player foul out, 1 with 4. You can't play that short of a rotation against this Gonzaga team. Like we've seen it. Even if you shut us down for a half or longer, like these guys are going to be gassed and they're going to be in foul trouble and we're going to run them out of the gym. Like
especially if they try the hack a zag strategy. You can't hack a zag when your rotation's 6 guys, right? They have Jalen Williams 6'10", 240. He's a big guy. He's a double-double. 10 points, 10 rebounds type guy. He gets 1 block a game, so he's not the greatest shot blocker, but he's a legitimate big, hulking guy.
Yeah.
Hulking guy. He's a big guy, but no one else is over 6'7" in their roster. Like, they're small and they don't play. They're fast. They play fast. They play good defense. It's funny. They don't do anything spectacularly well on defense, but they are just solid across the board. They're all, top 50 on pretty much everything, and it all equals out to be one of the best, top 15 defensive teams in the country.
And if you're Arkansas, how can you be this boggles my mind. In the last round, I see people on Twitter, Arkansas's got Gonzaga number, blah, blah, blah. You mothers scored 0.74 points per possession in that game against New Mexico State, friendos. Yeah. You didn't have a single player with an offensive rating over 95. Okay? If you play even remotely that bad, we are going to crush this team. And
the thing is, based on stuff like that, you hear some of those numbers, and it's like Gonzaga doesn't even have to play super well to win this game. Like that's what has me scared of my own level of confidence.
Like, I mean, I saw the early line at 8.5, and I was like gonna smash the cover button. I think we'll cover 8.5. We're gonna win by 15 or 16.
Like, they have one guy who can shoot threes.
Should we talk about that guy?
34.5%. It ain't him.
Oh no, that's right. It's Amude.
He shoots 30.
Let's talk about Note. He's our creature. He's their best player. So let's talk about JD Note for a sec.
Activate Creature Report. Creature Report. Creature Report. Creature Report.
Facts.
JD Note is a Georgia kid. He went to Jacksonville, and then he transferred to Arkansas for his junior year. Scored about 12.5 points a game that year, and was projected. I don't think he was projected to be as good as he was this year. But his senior year, like 3-man we've projected him as a bench, like the 6th man off the bench. But he has ended up becoming unquestionably their best player. 18.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists. So he does it all. He doesn't shoot that well, which is a theme in their team. 40% from the floor only, and from 3-point range, it's like 30% or something. So, but he's a good player, 6'2", 190, and you got to watch him. He can go off. He's had some games where he is popped for 30 and 28 there, 25 there, 31, 23, 23. So 28, like 4 games with about 30 points. So he can pop, and he's your creature.
Yeah, I don't know. This team just seems extremely inconsistent. Like I said, they scored 75 against Vermont and then 53 against New Mexico State.
Right.
Like that is a bizarre level of inconsistency. They scored.
New Mexico State's a decent defensive team. They're not like great. They're like 50 something in Ken Palm defense. So they're pretty. They're big. They're big. New Mexico State's a big team. So that might be a precursor of how difficulties they might have with a big team, because we're a big team. We're bigger than New Mexico State.
Yeah, we sure are.
But you're also talking about a team too that does have a win over Auburn, that does have a win over Tennessee, a win over Kentucky. So like and 3 wins over LSU, they can get you if
clearly they can.
Certainly, and they're capable. As much as we want to talk about, they only scored 53 points against New Mexico State. They only allowed 48.
Yeah,
against a bigger team. So just being bigger, it obviously didn't mean you were going to score.
Well, they in that game they really pressured the guards in the perimeter. They had extremely intense perimeter defense in that game. So
where have we struggled most?
Right. So there's a.
I mean, they're going to have to deny. They're going to have to deny entry passes in a really serious way. I think that's going to be a primary function of them. Disrupt the guards in the perimeter to prevent inbounds passes. I think they'll be fronting Timmy a lot. I don't think they can guard both. I don't think they can guard both our bigs.
If that's true, and I think you're probably right, I would hope Gonzaga would start switching to more high-low.
Right.
Because what you aren't going to have is you're going to have a 6'10" guy on either Chet or Drew, depending on which one they think he's best at. That's most important to cover. And then you're going to have maybe a 6'7" guy who plays 14% of their minutes. Like there's nobody over 6'6" that's in their regular rotation. And so then you have nobody stopping that entry pass from the high-low.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do it.
Or guarding down low. So, I mean, unless they're really going to be able to get up in our faces, Chet literally can just throw it over people's heads and get it in. So Marty, talk me out of this. What am I missing here?
Well, here's something that an advantage they have. We mentioned the free throw shooting. It is kind of a weapon for them. They're 23rd in the nation and percentage of points from the free throw line. They draw a lot of fouls and they shoot well. They have 4 guys on their team who have attempted more than 120 free throws.
Sixth in the nation. Sixth in the nation at free throw. The 23%.
Oh wow. Okay.
I wrote the percentage, not the inverse. Yeah, I inverted it. Sorry. To put the free throw number in perspective, we have Timmy, who's the only player on our team with more than 100. Chet has like 90 or something. Everyone else is way down at 70, 60. We just don't. But meanwhile, Arkansas's got 4 kids who have all over 100. So they all draw fouls. They all get to the line, and then they hit their shots. So they score a lot from the free throw line. So there's a decided advantage they have over us. So let's see what if we hit 13 of 25 again. And they hit 21 of 24. That's a huge.
Yeah, that's a huge swing.
That's absolutely 8 points. Like that kind of thing might be what you look at and think this game was not close. Why was it close? Oh, because of free throws. That might be something.
Would you prefer Nembhard covering? Note? Because I think I'd rather have either Straw. I mean, Strawther's probably not going to do it, but I think I'd rather have Bolton on him. I don't. If they're that good at drawing fouls, I don't want Nembhard chasing him around.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Note had 9 steals against New Mexico State.
Good grief.
Yeah, gonna have to be. I mean, they don't have Andrew Nembhard, but they're gonna have to be. Yeah, the guys are gonna have to play sharp. They're gonna have to be ready on the perimeter for. But I mean, you got. Still, I'm just looking at how high they are. I'm looking at the offensive ratings. And they're going to have to play. Obviously Arkansas can win against good teams. So, we can't dismiss them outright. But I do you think this is an easier game for Gonzaga than Memphis was?
It might be a better matchup.
Yeah, I think it's just a better matchup.
Yeah, I think so too.
They play fast. They're way smaller. Like Memphis could size up with us with better than Arkansas.
But the thing that worries me is the ball pressure. Like that's where we struggled against Duke. It's where we had a hard time against Tarleton State. It's where we struggled at least a little bit against Bama. That was more defensive. But I mean, man, like, and obviously we've seen teams that aren't 3-point shooting teams light it up from 3. Like that's the nature of a one-off tournament. But
yeah, there's always that risk.
They shoot less than 31%. They give up almost 40% of their opponents' shots from 3. Like that's a lot, man. Like the last time we had that, a team that did that, we blew them out.